parental and or sponsor advisory. Our goal is to offer a recovery-based podcast with a twist of humor. This is your butt hurt disclaimer. The expressions and opinions voiced here are those of the individual speaker and are not of the collective. Our primary purpose is to carry the message and to help other alcoholics and addicts achieve sobriety while sharing our own experience, strength, and hope. We don't feel the need, nor do we want to be original, but we certainly don't want to be extra crispy.
Welcome to the Potluck Podcast. My name's Martin.
My name's Anthony.
And I am definitely a real alcoholic of the psychopathic and hopeless variety named Sean.
All right. This is our first edition of the Potluck Podcast. How you fellas doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Fantabulous.
Fantabulous. That's awesome. So the whole idea of this is for us to get a chance to give back. So we're going to give you all a taste of a little bit of humor, some knowledge, and strength and hope, just like the man said.
So, how do we carry the message?
Well, definitely not in a briefcase.
The first step is admitting the problem.
Facts.
Today, the problems don't necessarily pertain to any substance or alcohol. You know, I've come to believe that the problems and the disease is manifestation in my mind. You know, the obsession of the mind. You know, the obsession of people, places, and things.
I totally agree.
You know, I never could stop drinking and using just because I didn't want to. Willpower was not enough. I used to think something was wrong with me because I can remember my dad asking me, you know, why don't you have the willpower? You know, you got to find the willpower. And I never could, to this day, even find willpower.
Well, I will say this, Sean. I hang out with you a lot outside of this room, and there's definitely something wrong in that head. I'm telling you right now. Anthony?
Yeah, I don't know. Someone great once told me. He said that the quality of issues we go through now are definitely, it's a better quality of issue. What I mean by that is no longer do I run the street to figure out how I'm going to get the next high, but now I worry about how I'm going to pay my bills on time. How am I going to make it to this appointment on time? You know what I'm saying? I to provide for myself and, you know, possibly lend a hand to the next person. That's the quality issues that I'm dealing with today, as to where before I didn't give a shit about anything other than getting high. I didn't even give a shit about myself, you know? So, you know, step one for me took me a long time to grasp. Not just the point of admitting, because I admitted to myself several times I was powerless, but really understanding what it meant to admit that I was powerless over a substance. No longer today is my life contingent on any type of substance other than my own happiness.
Facts. I have to agree with that.
Yeah, if I could expand on that a little bit, you know, the powerlessness of the substance is the powerlessness over my problems, any problem, you know, that I didn't like. It wasn't going my way. I wasn't getting what I wanted when I wanted. I kind of believe that I was powerless over all my problems. I was powerless over my thoughts, feelings, and emotions, the way I handled situations, life on life's terms, if you will.
I will.
You know, like I said, the willpower wasn't enough. My mind definitely didn't have any control over what it was that I didn't want to do. I kept doing what I didn't want to do, you know, damaging lives, and you know, anybody even came in close proximity to me, you know. I had read that step where it actually stated that I was powerless over my problems. It did not say alcohol. It did not say drugs. It said problems. And I sat back in my seat and thought, wow. Like, I feel like that was one of the keys to opening that for me, you know. It was always such sense of shame to the alcoholic, the addict, because it was always called, I was a junkie, bro.
Yeah.
I could not wrap my head around that. I went to work every day. I got a paycheck every day. I gave the old lady my paycheck every day. I was functioning.
Yeah.
For some reason, y'all was the ones that had the problem with it, not me. I contributed.
Huh. I never knew you had problems. Wow.
Today, I'm the manufacturer of my own misery.
Wow.
Yes, absolutely. And for those who are having problems with step one, because for me, my problem mainly was the point of powerless. Nobody wants to feel powerless, but by admitting that you are powerless, you actually empower yourself. You know what I mean? That was probably the biggest thing for me, is because I don't want to admit to nobody that I'm powerless. I don't want no one to know that I'm powerless, that I'm absolutely weak at this point upon any of that. And someone once told me, they said, you can only control what you can control, in the sense of, I can only control what's in arm's reach of me. That's it. Me. I can't control what happens outside of that right there. Think of a hula hoop. You outside that hula hoop. Anything outside that hula hoop is out of your control. And that was a big thing for me when I realized that I absolutely was powerless.
Do you remember the hula hoop?
I do.
Have you ever hula hooped with two people?
No, I did not.
It's
But
really
I was
uncomfortable.
I was very skinny and able to gyrate enough to hula hoop for a minute.
No, it's really awkward. I can imagine to hula hoop with two people. So
Yeah.
just stay in your own hula hoop and things go a lot
I
better.
feel like
Yeah.
it would just be two people spinning around in a circle.
Bumping
Yeah.
ugly.
I would definitely be powerless in a dual hula hooping. If there's such a word as dual hula hooping. I too came to the realization that I was powerless. It took me a long time as well. I thought I had power. I was one of those that said, "Yeah, I can do this and control it, and just do it every now and then, and get done with that, and well, it's another now and then, do it again, and each time I'm thinking it's me controlling that, but in actuality, it was it controlling me. So, yeah, it took a few kicks in the ass to get me up off the ground, hula hooping, as you would put it.
I used to look at it back when I was, back in them days, and I was, getting high and whatnot. I used to say, I don't do drugs. Drugs do me, and that was absolutely what it was doing. Absolutely. The realization of what drugs actually do to your mind, do to you spiritually, physically, mentally, all of that is exactly that right there. And it's crazy to say something like that and not realize what you're really saying until you realize what you're really saying. And that it's crazy.
I'm sorry, fellas, but I have to say this. Look, this is our first edition, our first recording, and we've got this place looking like a radio station right now. We've got mics set up like boom mics, and this is just, I'm telling you, this is exciting. I'm so excited about this, and look at this, y'all. Look around. This is professional and shit.
Yeah. Absolutely. Look, when I first heard about the podcast and I approached Sean, I approached, Martin about being a part of this, the very first thing I did was start looking at mics. Start looking at different things I needed to do, because I'm invested in this right now. This right here has potential, and I love it. I feel like it can go somewhere. We could help somebody, and that's what I'm trying to do today. That's what we are trying to do today, is just help somebody. And even if it, to me, even if we don't feel like it's helping, I can almost guarantee you that it's helping somebody somewhere.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if it helps anybody else, but it helps me. And it's not harming anybody. So,
Yeah.
and that is
Amen.
my main goal here. I don't know about anybody. I can't speak for anybody else, but if it doesn't harm anybody, then it's a win-win-win.
Well, and it also reaches a vaster crowd, because Sean and I were hanging out at Waffle House.
Uffelhausen.
Uffelhausen. And, we would do y'all are going to witness us doing here, but with a smaller group, you know, with just people that would stop in to see us, or, you know, and you know, we were sitting there one day and we just decided, man, that'd be cool to have a podcast doing this. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's when labor began and we had this baby.
You know, I'm actually kind of mad that dear old Anthony wasn't invited to these woofahoosin. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Anthony lives in a different town, and
no,
let me find out you're gonna come down every time we go down there.
Hey, listen, all right, Waffle House is far. All right?
Yes, it is.
Just for legal purpose, we may want to refer to it as Oofalhosa.
Okay. Oofalhosa.
Okay.
We don't want nobody chasing us down for collecting stuff that we don't have to give. Okay?
Right.
All right. But you two expressed, you know, your excitement about the whole deal here with the podcast. Devil's advocate, bro. I wasn't real excited about it. You know what I'm saying?
Really, you didn't show that.
Yeah, well, it's because I didn't want to rain on your parade. You know what I'm saying? But it was.
I think
honesty,
it was raining when we came up with it. To be honest with you,
honesty is key for me in my recovery.
Principle
Okay?
step one.
All right. So, and to be honest, I was apprehensive. I was reluctant. I'm not nervous about much in my recovery here in this most recent endeavor to have this life. But
dear diary, pay more attention to Sean.
In this life, this one my few encounters with a sense of nervousness or anxiety, if you will. You know, but I kept finding myself focusing on how I'm gonna make this humorous, how we're gonna make this funny, how it, you know, and somebody shared with me last night, you know, and allowed me to take that different look back at it, you know, stand back, and it's the recovery, man. It's just go about it with the recovery, and me and Martin here, you know, we feed off each other real well. I mean, like when I'm talking about, we have the Oofle House hopping, okay, like from one end to the other. These people are cracking up. You know what I'm saying? And we are just all we are doing is being ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then I realized, you know, with just the chance of being able to give somebody that hope that I didn't have, you know, just with my experience, and likewise with you guys. You know what I'm saying? Now we got Anthony, an additional one to feed off each other. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The humor will come, as you can see already. You know what I'm saying?
You know, we were talking about, you know, basically the authentic self, right? So, you know, we all move in vibrations. We all vibrate differently. The highest vibration that you can reach is authenticity, right? So, naturally, me, for myself,
Vibrator disclaimer.
Naturally for me, I'm trying to reach that. In a way, I'm trying to reach that authentic self. You know, you can only be true to oneself. You know, by me being honest with myself, by me being honest with everyone else, slowly I'll reach that path. But I've also heard that once you journey begins to reach authenticity, you can't go backwards. You know, in the sense, I'm not saying you can't just go get high. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally makes you sick to go any other way than to be your authentic self. And for me, starting on this, you know, recovery, you know, I've been clean about 17 months now, and since this journey, I have realized that being my authentic self is where I want to be.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's
I was telling my girlfriend that I get off on honesty.
You've got a
Yes.
girlfriend?
Yes, I do. I definitely do, Sean. Thank you for asking. Any more questions? Dear diary, be careful what you tell Sean.
Oh man.
So this potluck podcast that we're doing is going to have different segments in it. We will be having guests. Each show will have a different guest. and you know, their perspective and input and sense of humor, of which hopefully they have. And we do have different segments that we're going to be doing. Some of which will be. Sean, you want to introduce some of the segments? At least one of them I know you're going to mention, so I'm going to let you do that.
One possibility will be an episode from the Chronicles. This is just while in recovery or whatnot.
It's like
you
the
know.
Chronicles of Narnia.
Well, it's it's the Chronicles of Sean
Great
and
analogy.
and the Ass on Fires episodes. You know what I'm saying? When they come
Yes.
into the room and
Yes,
got
absolutely.
that it's a burning desire today.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just basically life on life's terms.
Okay.
And having to get that off your chest. There for a while, every day was a new episode of the Chronicles. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I would come in the room and Sean Alcoholic, welcome to another episode of the Chronicles. Because that's how I kind of felt there for me. It was always just some kind of small potatoes or Cadillac problem I was dealing with.
Yeah.
Compared to all that out there before coming to the rooms, because everything was a problem. Everything was a problem. Went to bed with the problems, woke up with the problems. And if it didn't have problems, I made problems. Professional self-saboteur to the fullest extent. I don't know if it's in the dictionary, but it probably got my photo next to it. If so,
Yeah, I imagine after a few hundred episodes, we'll have the beginnings of our own dictionary, I'm sure.
So, and another one, which I'm really kind of, I've got great expectations, and I'm not supposed to have expectations, but I got expectations that this may take off. It's shortened thoughts.
Look, Anthony, let me explain
how did we
this.
come up
No,
with
that
this?
whoa, let me get this. All right. So I'm sure everyone has heard the phrase sometime or another about parting thoughts. This is as we leave. What are your final thoughts? Okay.
Right.
I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with the term of sharding. Okay, it's when you think you got gas and maybe it's of the more fluid form. Okay. Okay.
Sheesh.
So, and I'm Sean, and this idea was developed before we had Anthony, come on board or whatever. But we're working on something a little more inclusive for him as well. But I'm Sean, and this is Martin. Okay, so shortened thoughts. The shortened thoughts is maybe a thought that we've had that didn't really materialize into anything,
Other than a thought.
well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
well, there's your shortened thought.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a very good explanation of that there, Sean. I appreciate the subtleness of it, because at Ufelhusen, it turned a little bad for Martin, because we went into stories about the old days and high school and
Shortened episodes.
yes, and we'll leave it at that for now. But yeah,
Thanks for giving it a little more context.
of course, it's what I do. Huh? Another segment we'll have probably some news stories of recovery. I did look into this online, and there are stories out there. Like last night, we read one of how someone in recovery saved somebody's life in a car wreck or something. I don't have it with me here in front of me right now, but we were just looking up to see if there were stories out there that we could, use as like little news clips. So that'll be a great little input there.
Another thing I wanted to throw in there, and it's probably along the lines of that, are recovery options. It's been brought to my attention that while we're out here in the madness or whatever and wanting some hope or some sense of help or change, we don't know where to go. So I'd like to get them recovery options out there that are available. At this time, I know of one that I am comfortable mentioning without any ramifications. I'll do further outreach and
That word looked hard for
precautionary
you to say
measures.
just now, watching you say it.
But Thursdays, at 7 o'clock in Elizabethtown at 710 College Street. There is a recovery church, and it is a worship and a recovery based on the 12 steps.
I heard about that, and it's grown.
And that's at 710 College Street, College Heights Methodist. It's across from E-Town Community Technical College. That's 7 p.m. Thursday.
That started like with just a handful of people, and now I'm hearing that they've had to go into a bigger room because of how much
They moved us into the main sanctuary because from week one, we were packed. But yeah, it is really look, we don't shy away from it. It's
good stuff.
It's the 12 steps taught through the Bible, the Word, the truth.
Speaking of that right there, actually, when I was in a rehab, and someone handed me a Bible. It's called the Life Recovery Bible, and it is the 12 steps, the 12 principles. It's all through the Bible. It's actually transferred from the Bible itself, but it actually breaks down each step in the Bible with notes on the side. It's like a student Bible, if you will. It's a great Bible. You read the Bible if you're into that type of thing. I recommend it. I definitely do. It'll go right along with going there.
With that being said, there is one more that I can mention, and it is the Life Recovery Bible meeting at 8 p.m. Mondays at Safe Harbor.
Wonderful.
Which is not affiliated with this podcast in any way, shape, or form.
Some of the other things, we'll be tweaking this show out as we go along. What?
We might finesse it a little bit.
Dear Diary, learn your terminology. We will be. Help me out here, Sean, Mr. Smart Pants.
We'll be finessing this a little bit along the way.
Finessing, though? I mean, really? Finessing?
Absolutely.
No, finessing kind of is like a,
Projecting?
Okay, let me dumb it down.
What are we trying to say here?
Keep it stupid and simple.
Working out new things to do in the show. How about that?
Yeah, okay.
Fine tuning. Very good word.
Excellent.
I think we just found our first
dialing in.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
But yeah, we will be fine tuning this show and adding stuff to it. It's this is our first edition, so we're just like shaking off the cobwebs of ourselves.
The excitement.
Yeah, I'm
excited.
The adrenaline.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Literally, I go to work every day since I figured out we was about to do this. All right, and every day I tell the same group of people every day that I'm about to shoot this podcast. And every day they tell me the same thing. When you get it going, let me know. We're gonna watch it. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And that, I'm excited. I haven't been able to be a part of anything like this, and the fact that I was okay to be a part of this, it means a lot. And I appreciate it.
Yep.
But even more so, just
everybody we've talked to about this is excited about what it's going to do because I mean everybody.
Yeah.
And like Anthony here said, at work I've talked about it all week long, and just yesterday, like 3 or 4 different people asked me, "When's this podcast coming out? What day is it on? What's it called?" They're ready to go on it, So yeah, it's really exciting.
Yeah, I feel like we can touch a lot of people.
Yeah. What? Virtually touch a lot of people.
Virtually.
Yeah, virtually.
Hey, after I said that, I realized what I was really saying. But I mean, I can really help somebody. Let me put it like that. I'll rephrase what I just said. I feel like we could help somebody. A lot of different people too. I know when I was first, going into recovery and whatnot, I didn't really know where to turn to or who to turn to. Even though I was thrown into different rehabs, being forced to go to rehab is not, it's not ideal. It's not It's like forced therapy, right? If you're going to force someone to do therapy, 9 times out of 10 they're not going to do anything because it's not going to help.
They're not getting
They're
therapy.
not gonna, right. So I don't know. My advice to those who are fresh in recovery that are forced is to not think of it as them being forced. Uh, just be open minded, you know, and you just take it slow, you know. Don't try to rush. I know a lot of people, you know, I did it too when I was in recovery. You know, they wanted to rush out, you know, and it's not ideal, you know. It's while you're in a rehab, while you're in a sanctuary, it's easier. You leave that sanctuary and everything becomes life on life real quick, you know.
And also, you know, a lot of these programs are very serious. I mean, they give you time to do you, but they're very serious. So this is a way. Our show is a way to kick back and laugh and still learn. Laugh and learn. Hey, and so this is just a kickback way to still learn and have fun doing it. You know, laughter is the best medicine. I'll tell you what. Uh, Without laughter, I mean, can you imagine a world without funny? Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's whew,
It's the best medicine.
yeah, it is.
What it say? Teaspoon of sugar makes the medicine go down. Something like that, right?
Got me,
Sugar.
bro. You got me on that
Sugar's
one.
not really all that good for you, though. They say.
I wouldn't know. I eat a lot of it.
I mean, yeah, me too. But I've actually changed my sugar diet now. I don't do straight sugar because it's got all the chemicals in it when it's refined and all that or whatever you call it. So I now use sugar cane, and I was scared of it.
Cane sugar?
Yeah.
Real sugar?
I was scared of it because I'm picky, and my palate and I get along really well, and I don't want to piss it off. So, you know, but when I was convinced to try it, there's no difference. I was worried about aftertaste and all that, and I there's no difference. And now that's all I use. I actually cold turkeyed on sugar, dude. Swear to God, I did.
It's crazy.
Cold turkey.
Listen, and that's good for you. It's a good thing. I'm proud of you. I can't cut back
Well,
sugar.
thank you, Anthony.
I can't do that. Sugar.
Why?
Because it's.
All right, I'm gonna touch on the sugar thing real
It's the
quick.
way of
Okay.
life.
Okay, touch
Uh,
it.
I don't know how. Okay, I started drinking Diet Cokes. All
It's
right.
terrible.
Diet
There's
Cokes. Okay.
aftertaste.
Hey,
It's terrible.
everything has. If anything's gonna change, everything's got to change.
Yeah.
Okay. I started drinking Diet Cokes. All right. I done drinking Coke Zeros. All right. Okay. Well, then I pick up a Coke. Oh my Lord, that's terrible. I cannot drink Cokes now. Okay.
But you
That's-
used to
that's just
drink
me.
Coke before you
But that's
switched.
but that's just me. Yeah, we're talking about Coke
I said drink
Pop.
Cokes.
We're talking about pop.
You used to
We're
drink
talking about
Cokes before
no,
you switched
we
to
used
Diet
to drink
Cokes.
sodas.
Coca-Colas.
We
Oh,
no
sodas. Yes.
sodas.
Pops. Yes.
Oh my God.
Pops.
Sodies.
Yes.
Sodies.
Okay.
Flavored
You
carbonated
used to
water.
drink sodas.
Anywho.
And then you switched to diet sodas.
Mhm.
And now you can't go back to sodas.
Right.
Okay. Same with me and sugar. Kind of the same thing I just literally said.
I was just sharing my experience. That was your experience.
Yeah.
But touch on what Anthony was talking about when he come into recovery. You know, when I I got into a little bit of trouble this last time,
Mhm.
and when I wasn't legally obliged, but it came to mind. No vaping in here, guys. Honesty is key for me in my recovery. Okay. When I come into recovery this time, I don't know. I didn't know I wanted to recover. I didn't know that what I wanted. All right. I just know I was so busted, like in every sense of the way. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know how to get what I didn't know I wanted. You know what I mean? And it's really as simple as, and I say this a few times in these meetings I go to. Today the difficulty is in the simplicity of it all. You know what I mean? Like they said, keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back. I can apply this to a lot of my life. It's easier when I keep coming back to the meetings. It's easier when I keep coming back to work.
Yeah.
Paycheck looks better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely.
It's easier. Life is easier when I keep showing up when I don't want to. When I don't, not many meetings I don't want to go to. Some people are familiar. I stay in the meetings, right? But when I keep showing up and doing what I don't want to do, especially the meetings, when I don't want to go to that meeting, them are fire meetings, man. Those are fire meetings.
Yes.
You know, they tell me in the beginning, you know, go 90 meetings in 90 days. I think there was 400 meetings I attended in the first 90 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would not have been any different, I don't believe, had that not taken place.
Yes.
I had so many experiences, spiritual or otherwise, whatever. I coin them now as just life-changing events is what they were for me.
Yes.
All right, and they did take place in one place, and I'll mention it. It's at Safe Harbor, 200 Joe Prather Highway. Uh, you know, and now I have like this small fear in me to miss meetings.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid I'm gonna miss another moment. You know, I'm like,
Absolutely.
look, for lack of better terms, I chase that next feeling like I did that crack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That first hit. You know.
Well, I too had some issues and got into some trouble. Note for all you guys, I put up the quotation marks.
We heard it in your voice.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Sean. And it required me to attend meetings, and of course, I'm doing really good in said program, and I'm required less meetings, and I find myself doing more meetings. And I made a promise to myself that I am intending to be one of these people they call old timers, and because I love these meetings. I've built. They say change your people, places, and things, and I have built a family in those rooms, and you know the fellowship. I mean, I met you there, Sean. You know what I'm saying? And we clicked right off the bat. And relationships like that are not that easy to find, especially out there. You know what I'm saying?
Real friendships.
Right. And I met you in said program.
Yep.
So I mean,
The strongest still is forged in dumpster fires.
That's right. That's
very
absolutely
good.
right. I like that.
Wow.
That is,
Mind
that's,
blown.
you know what I'm saying?
That was shut my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a sharpened thought right there. Like it. Like it. So yeah, and let's see what other segments are we talking about? Okay, here we go.
Dear Diary.
Yes, the Dear Diary moments. They'll be injected. You know, Dear Diary. Use a better word than injected. They'll be they'll be put in just like that. Oh, yeah.
Otherwise known as note to self.
Yes, those are note to self. That's
Yeah.
right.
Like a
But they're
post-it
my
note.
notes, so it's diary.
Duly noted.
Thank you. Duly, well, actually, whatever the three word is, trially noted, because there are three of us. It could have been duly, but, you know, now it's threely. So, what is threely, Anthony? What's the word?
Trey.
Trio. Try.
Trially noted.
It's a triangle.
Trially
you know
noted.
what I mean?
Because it's duly, trially. Yeah, trially noted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Triply noted.
Wow.
Tripping, cuz.
Words are strong in here.
Stop tripping.
So, I've just been passed a piece of paper here. It says, otherwise known as the Holy Trinity. I don't know. 3.
Hey,
Yeah.
absolutely. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that
Bing,
a lot.
bing,
It's
bing.
also, if you look at the,
What's the...
The sign. The
it's on the back of every token. Every one of them.
the triangle.
It's a triangle.
In the circle.
That is.
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We just had a moment.
It's a, you know what I'm saying?
That's right. High five.
You have mail.
You got mail. Yay! I'm going to Hawaii. No, but but that was off of a cartoon I watched a long time ago.
Yeah.
You remember that? Crank Yankers? That was great.
So on the note of choice, I used to, when I first come in the rooms, I would use that as a form of a higher power because I had difficulty with the God concept.
Yeah.
And somebody shared it in the room, power of choice. The power of choice is pretty great in early recovery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because whatever it may be, like Martin said, he was ordered to do this program or whatnot. Well, they also suggest a court date to show up to. I don't necessarily have to show up to that court date, but if I choose to, it makes life easier.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh,
So the power of choice was pretty great for me in the beginning, and choosing, like Anthony said, to flip that perception in my mind where you're so obligated to do something or you have to do something. Look, I was given power in my life basically really early on, way too early on for any one individual. Okay, I had so much freedom. It is, looking back on it, it's just ridiculous now. You know what I mean? So uh, to have to think to myself that I have to do one thing or that I'm not allowed to do one thing, I was definitely gravitating toward the other way.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it because you said no. I'm not going to do it because you said I had to.
Yeah.
So then when I had to do something, for instance, when I had to go get high, I tell myself, well, I'm going to choose not to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it gave me a lot of relief.
Yeah.
Okay. Now today, uh, when I choose something, I'm going against God's will, because God, that's my flesh when I'm choosing. All right.
Yeah.
So if I choose these things without prayer and meditation and asking for God's
Guidance. Yeah.
then I am taking back control of my life, where I had control of my life for 35 years, 44 years, 35 years in the sickness. Okay, uh, where that didn't work out real well. You know what I mean? And all them efforts, I call them efforts, but like I said, I really never, honestly, never wanted to get clean.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was just trying to get a little bit better here and there. And I used to be kind of think about that, and I go back and forth in my mind about it, why I could never do it before.
Yeah.
And it's because I kept trying to regain control.
Yeah.
Of my life, of my usage, of all control of my problems.
Yeah.
When all along the answer was to let go of control.
Yeah.
Stop trying to control. Stop trying to regain control of something I never had control of to begin with. And when I find myself choosing, I find myself controlling.
Yeah, for me, the great thing about this program and these programs and programs just like it is, the God of your understanding. So even if you don't believe in necessarily who I would consider God or who Sean or who Martin or any of us, it's an opinion of your own of who he or they or it or them or whatever it is shall be. And now, for me, I know, for instance, for me, when I first got into the program, I was praying to my grandfather. He passed away in 2016. That's who I prayed to every day. That's totally fine. But I had to go through that to get to where I am now. So I would pray to him. And then gradually, over a period of time, it didn't happen overnight. It wasn't over like a 6-month period. This is just recently, gradually, I realized who, for me, I would consider to be God. And it doesn't matter what your God of your understanding is. If it's, say, like you said, choice, just the power of choice, definitely works as a power greater than yourself. You know what I mean? Especially if you're choosing to do the next right thing. Gradually over time, you will.
It will lead you to the one who has
Yes.
all power.
If you
that
allow,
one is God. May you find him now.
Right now. If you allow yourself to continue to stay open minded, if you allow to take suggestions, if you allow all these things, you will gradually work for finding a higher power. And honestly, you probably wouldn't even realize it that you're developing this until it develops or until it materializes for
Yes,
you.
absolutely.
And
You know, I'm glad he said something about the honesty, and I meant to touch on this a second ago. That was like my conclusion to the previous ramble. I had a friend ask me last week at Bible study. I go to Bible study, bro. I go to Bible study, bro. On that note, I woke up late for Bible study. I missed it today, first time in over 2 months. I really feel some way about it. But progress over perfection. A friend at that Bible study asked me last week, how do you get sober? He said, how do you stay sober? He looks at me, he says, the answer's in the question. I was like, I hate questions like this, bro. You know, putting the spotlight on me. I don't like to feel dumb or like I don't know something, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
With that being said, I'm baby shit green to all this new life, all right? I don't know nothing, okay? My brother said he's almost an old timer. I will never be an old timer. I don't have enough time on this earth to become an old timer. 35 years out there. I got 35 years in sobriety just to break even, bro. I'm 0 years old at that point. You know, I don't know shit, and I just like to stay that way.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Well, for me, as far as the higher power goes, uh, my higher power is God, but I have a combination because I was a mama's boy, and you know, being out in the madness, I really put my mother through hell. I really did, and she never stopped loving me. You know, she didn't like me, but she always loved me.
power of mother's love.
Yeah, and
Power
so
greater than ourselves.
I lost my mother this year.
Sorry for your loss, buddy.
Thank you. And so not only do I have the higher power to give me strength to continue this sobriety journey I'm on, but my mother before she passed, got to see me come from the hellion I was to where I am today.
Yeah.
And
Powerful.
I'm at peace with her passing, knowing that her son was able to put that road behind him and come out on top.
Yeah.
And that for me is very powerful because, like I said, I was a mama's boy, and I can't see myself tarnishing that because I know she's watching over me right now. And if I went back out there in the madness, I would not only be letting myself down, but I'd be letting her down. You know, God will always forgive me, but I couldn't forgive myself if I let my mother down. You know what I mean? And that is part of my strength in keeping this thing going for me. So,
Yeah, you
and
had
that's the first time I did that without, well, never mind.
No,
Never
on cue, bro.
Yeah, it was just.
Look, I'm still a potato chip upstairs. I still kind of ruffling out ruffling out the edges up here.
You get it? Ruffles.
You know, I mentioned how my friend asked me how to stay sober. How did I stay sober, get sober? The answer was in the question. The answer was how. It's honesty, open-minded, and willingness. And when I start to lose that open-mindedness to new information, a willingness, you know, to take suggestions from people or the unfamiliar that I really don't know nothing about, you know what I'm saying? And of course, the honesty is first, you know, like Anthony said, you know, being honest with myself, and then I can even begin to learn who I am.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, that's the how.
Yeah. You know, for me, I think another good aspect of these programs and others like it is the point where you thought you knew who you were, you know, and then you realize that you actually had no idea who you were. You know, for me, I'll keep it on myself anyway. For me, I thought I knew. You know, I've done all these different things, and like I was great at all these different things. I was a great skateboarder. I skated for 15, 16 years. I played soccer until I was 20 years old.
You
Did all these
skateboarded?
things. Yeah, absolutely. And still, in the end,
Do a gainer, dude.
I mean, skateboarding. Not very many black people do that.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
saying,
there's
you know?
actually a lot more black
He's
people
black?
that do it than most.
Well, that's the rumor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, but when you start to figure out who you are, that's to me that's another because you really really do realize like you had no fucking clue who you were at all.
Yeah.
You know, that was the scary part for me too because I didn't know who I was. Thought I did. You know what I mean? I projected myself to be who I thought I wanted to be, and then in reality, like that's not who I wanted to be at all. And then I was talking to my sponsor not too long ago, and he tells me, he says, the person that you're becoming today, right now, and that you continue to work towards is the person you were always destined to be from the beginning. And at first I didn't quite grasp what he was saying to me, and then I realized like I was set to go this path from the beginning so that I could reach where I am today and to continue to grasp further than what I'm going through right now. You know what I mean? And that hit me because I've known my sponsor for a little while. I've known him for about almost 2 years, almost. And so for someone to really only known me for 2 years to really break down what I'm going through in a way that even I can understand it, it's amazing to me. And the fact that I can actually reach out now and help somebody else because I actually care. I'll give you a little backstory. The other day, it was about a month ago, I was at Dollar General, okay? And there was a there was a woman there, and it was right before they was about to close. I don't know exactly what time, but it was about 10 minutes before they closed. And she had Pepto-Bismol or something like that, and some other things. You could tell is obviously for a child. She was having problems paying for it. I think it was like $8 altogether. And she kept trying to swipe her card. She kept swiping her card, and it just wasn't going through. Come to find out, she's from out of state. So, when you leave state, use your debit card. A lot of the times, the banks will flag it as fraud because you aren't in an unknown territory. So, I didn't even think about it, but I went up to the cashier and I asked her. I said, "How much does she owe?" She's like $8 and change. So I paid for it, and the lady's like, "Oh, thank you." She's trying to explain to me what's going on. I said, "Listen, it's not that I don't care. I do care, but obviously you need a little bit of help, and I'm in the position right now where I can help you. I don't want anything back. I don't want nothing in return. I don't want anything in return at all. But the fact that I'm able to do something like that today, as to where 2-3 years ago, like I wouldn't, we would have been standing there still, wait on her to do it because at that time, 2-3 years ago, I didn't care. You know what I mean? Now I'm able to do it. I have the ability now to not feel empathy, but actually help somebody that truly needs it. You know what I'm saying? And that this program, these programs, the rooms, the program that I'm, the court system, that we're running through right now is part of the reason that I have this perception change. Because, they say you got to have a full psychic change. Part of my psychic change was empathy and love for another person. See, a couple years ago, I hated people who we were as a whole. I didn't like people. I didn't. And today, I have empathy because once upon a time, I was there. I know what it's like to have to get something for your kids but don't have the money to do it. I know what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like to be eating out of trash cans. I know what it's like to sleep in a car. I know what it's like to have all these things. I know what it's like to have your house robbed and everything taken out of it. And I've rebuilt and rebuilt and rebuilt. The difference between then and now is the fact that I'm rebuilding not just physical, materialistic things, but also myself. That's, to me, is one of the most important things because I'm rebuilding myself to the way I want to be.
Yeah.
The way God wants me to.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Anthony.
What's up, buddy?
Was you good at skateboarding?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
Was
absolutely.
you still on the skateboard?
Yeah. was you a Tony Hawk fan? Did you like
no,
Tony Hawk?
I did not like Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk was underrated to me only because, Tony Hawk, you're a great skater, but no. All these little video games and all these different things that he did, it just wasn't my style. Now, not taking anything from the man because I don't personally know the man, you know.
I
But,
just asked if you were a fan.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, he's a great skater. I didn't watch him on a regular basis. It wasn't something that I did.
Right. You don't want to elaborate too much on that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
roller skating was my thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually one of my friends, a good friend, he's a professional rollerblader right now.
No. Four wheels, buddy.
Yeah, he got 4 wheels.
Yeah, no, like
But yes,
not straight in a row.
Yeah. I got what you're saying. He can do. He does that too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
I
He
never
does that.
tried the
Yeah, legit.
rollerblading thing.
Yeah.
I'm old school, you know.
Yeah. So what was that? What was that movie?
But I hung out at the skating rink a lot back in my day. I loved skating. I really did.
What was that movie?
Roller.
I always just went to the skating rink, the all night skates. We would just
roller
suck
boogie,
face
roller
all the
boogie.
time, that was all.
Yes.
I just
Great
went-
movie, by the
I
way.
just went there to kiss on the girls. That was all.
Well, I liked when it was
Yeah.
time for couple skate. It was like being at a school dance, you know, when you dance with me, but on skates, you know. So, yeah. All right.
So I had somebody ask me in a meeting, why would God allow me to be an alcoholic or addict? And you know, there's a few. This is one of the instances in while in recovery where I didn't come up with this answer. Like I don't know where the answer come from, but this, along with other tragedies that we might encounter, you know what I'm saying, through life, you know, these are lessons that's being taught, and sometimes the lesson is not necessarily even for us.
Yeah.
You know, it could be from somebody that you know has to experience it in close proximity, you know.
Right.
But the struggle and the suffer continues until the lesson is learned that's being taught.
Yeah.
So a little bit later, I see this question asked. It was a video clip on one of these social media-ish outlets. And its explanation on the matter was, you know, God makes us with these addictive tendencies and alcoholic minds so that we would be addicted for him, for his ways, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I mean, can you imagine if I took all that effort that I used and expended out there doing all that sideways, you know, evilness, you know, and used that mindset to, you know, follow God, Jesus Christ, who is my Lord and Savior today. Again, very contrary to anything I've ever lived in 44 years. Again, the possibilities are just absolutely endless, you know, when you use them powers for good. All right, we're over here playing with the keyboard. It don't make noise, but
So
I'm told we got 7 minutes left.
Well, actually, probably about 10, because 3 minutes will probably be edited out. I'm just saying, because, you know, like I said, there's a lot of, you know, this is all new to us. Again, we're really appreciative of everybody that's...
Baby shit green.
Yeah, baby shit green.
Absolutely.
And I know this is going to be, we got a big following coming up, so, and we're grateful for everybody that tunes in and listens to us. It only gets better from here. This is our first, what do you call it? Edition? Recording? Episode.
First episode.
Episode.
We're gonna do a special when we hit 100 episodes
Of the
and then
Chronicles.
1,000, and then you know what I'm saying, it's gonna, you know, we can do this right here. It's gonna be all right.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Can't wait till I get a mic.
Martin, when we get 100 episodes, I'll get you a T-shirt.
You know what, Sean?
I
If
feel
you
like
get me
yes,
one, I'm going to
yes,
get you and Anthony one too.
Yes,
All right.
I feel like we should get them airbrushed. You know what I mean?
Airbrush.
Airbrush.
That's
You
so
know somebody
80s.
that knows somebody that knows somebody?
Maybe.
Oh,
Maybe. Yeah.
That's so 19 AD.
I mean, listen.
hey,
There's nothing
it
wrong with
worked.
airbrush. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
You can never go wrong with an airbrush T-shirt.
Can't.
Can we get them bedazzled too?
Bedazzled.
Oh yes.
Go
There
stand
are
in the
so
corner,
many
son.
copyright infringements going on right now.
Yeah.
We're going to be contacted by so many legal representatives.
Yeah.
Not really.
So,
I
with
don't
that
think-
being said,
I don't think we crossed any lines. You know what I'm saying? I think we were very. I think it worked out better than what we thought it would. Because
With that being said,
we
we're
were worried about having
self-supporting.
20 minutes.
through our own contributions,
Yeah. Absolutely.
declining outside contributions, and but we will hopefully have a link somewhere where maybe if you feel like you like to contribute, it would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
definitely true.
Hit the like button, I reckon.
Is there a like button?
Not sure. We'll look into that.
Yeah, there is a-
There
there
will
is-
be a like button.
Yes, there is. There's
absolutely.
always a
There will be
like button.
Maybe even a subscribe.
Yeah,
Maybe, yes.
most definitely subscribe because you'll subscribe to our channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can maybe even get a little Cash App thing going to where they can contribute that way. Yeah. That's something that just came to my mind
I like
from
it.
this ear.
From that side.
Yeah, this
Over
ear,
there?
this side of my mind. Yeah.
Over that side. All right.
Yeah.
One more thing, though, I guess before we go, I want to talk about perception, right? Because perception is everything. Some once told me that my perception is fucked up, but I would like to say that now my perception on most things, especially when something bad or good, it doesn't matter what it is, happens, I look at things in life differently. And that also came from this program and put in work into find out who I am and a higher power and all these different things, the footwork into becoming who I am. My perception is, I don't want to say A1 because it's progress, not perfection, but still a work in progress. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like the whole gratitude, you know what I mean? Being grateful. I'm literally grateful for everything that I do have. I'm grateful for everything I don't have.
Facts.
And I'm also grateful that, that I'm just being able to be alive today and actually live, not being existed on a plane of what I would consider hell at that time, but actually being able to enjoy life with like-minded friends, when I first got into these rooms and whatnot, you meet people, you see them come, you see them go, but a lot of the times when you start creating that bond, like the one you said with Sean, and like the one that we have, like those are real friendships. Those are real, you know what I mean? That's family right there. You guys have treated me better than most of my family ever have and ever will, and that's just the truth behind that. It's as honest as I can possibly be. And there are definitely others as well that I've met in these rooms or in different programs that have treated me the exact same way, but you're not going to find that in the street.
Funny you should say
Nah.
that because as far as the higher power thing we were talking about earlier, God works in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom has been sick for a long time. Her and my daughter are the only family I have left. So when I lost my mom, I was already 2 years in to come into these rooms, and I was able to build a family within these rooms,
Yeah.
so that I was never familyless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When
Yes.
she left this earth, I still had family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the support of that family was so phenomenal. I mean, they were there for me when I needed them the most. When I was in the hospital and just everything. They were, I built a family, so I was never familyless. So when I lost a family member, that's all it was, is I lost a family member, but I still have a family.
Yeah.
And that's just,
It's a wonderful feeling.
yeah, it's
Wonderful
really
feeling.
wonderful feeling.
Okay, so if I may give an episode of the Chronicles.
Yes,
Okay.
Shaunicles.
So in recovery, I had acquired 7, maybe 8 sponsors. Okay, through
Absolutely.
the time. Okay, I'm coming up on 11 months now.
Congratulations.
So thank
Yes,
you.
congratulations.
So like 7 or 8 sponsors. I believe I got the sponsor that's for me now. Uh, about 10 jobs. Okay.
Oh yeah. Coming
Quite
up.
quite a few situationships.
Yes.
You know, as they're coined. So I had just recently got this new job, and I'm not familiar with this formalities that these jobs have now. You know, offer letters, whatnot. Never
Yeah.
heard of the term in my life,
Right.
but I signed one, and it stated my pay rate and everything on here. Okay, so I sign it, and immediately go to the break room, get my cup of coffee, and left the offer letter on the counter.
Uh-oh.
And all the new coworkers read my offer letter. So, yeah, that new experience, you know. Okay. So that was my episode of the Shaunicles. Okay, and my sharding thought. Could I get my secretary over here, please, to shorthand me for future reference in the future episodes? If we could have a F-bomb tally.
Our secretary.
Oh
Thank you
yes.
very
So
much.
that was the
You're
thing.
just
that
gonna hog the secretary to yourself?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Well, listen, this is what I wanted to say this from the beginning. Uh, Profanity is not a sign of spiritual growth.
Absolutely.
However, I attempt every time I speak to either cut back or eliminate profanity at all completely. However, I will also add, and now granted you can't use this as a crutch, and I'm really not. I don't want to say it's a part of me, but I was raised like that. So I do not mean to offend anyone if I curse too much. I do not mean to offend anyone by, just the way it sounds when it comes out. It's not the point, but it's,
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
But the F-bomb tally is a lot for myself. It's
Yeah.
not to point to anybody.
That's my
Well, if
favorite,
you notice-
favorite word. Yeah.
At the end of the episode, we'll have an F-bomb tally, and of course, the one with the most F-bombs. I won't say. It's just not the winner.
I don't think I heard
We won't
any.
say loser, but it's
I
more
feel
like
like we should play a game. I feel like whoever has the most should buy everyone else lunch that day.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right.
But what I was going to say is, like, you watch some of these channels nowadays. Now, it used to not,
Yeah.
there used to be 7 words you couldn't say anywhere on TV.
Yeah.
Remember George
Yes,
Carlin?
yes.
7 words you couldn't say on
Absolutely.
TV? Well, now you can say
All
some of them. You can't. The F-bomb gets bleeped, and I'm like watching stand-up comedy, right? And the comedian says the F word, and they cut it. Yet, shit, damn, and hell, they come out and, they don't cut those. Those used to be part of the 7 words you couldn't say on TV, you know what I mean?
They don't
So,
bleep
but
GD
the F-bomb
either.
is really a hard,
Yeah.
that's a hardcore.
They don't bleep GD either.
Yeah,
Right,
definitely
they
don't.
don't, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like
You know what I mean?
listening.
Because that's a word that I don't even use when I'm dropping curse words.
I mean, you know what kills me though about the whole bleeping thing is, so you ever listen to edited music?
Yes.
Right, the whole as a kid growing up, right, when you hear the like instantly, like I'm already throwing out any word that can possibly fit in that bleep section. You know what I mean? So I feel like if it's more natural, for a person to listen to unedited music, just because you don't have to guess what's going in there. You know what I mean? As a child, you gotta have an imagination, but I mean, my imagination was, you know what I mean?
Well, you
Yeah,
mentioned
I have some music out there. Mad Martin, Spotify, and YouTube.
also known as the chocolate martini.
But and there are a lot of F bombs, but I have calmed down. I'm getting ready to drop a new one that has like maybe one word in there that's a cuss word. I challenged myself to do a song without any cursing in it.
Yes.
So the one I'm getting ready to drop, it's called Keeping It Real. It'll be out in a couple weeks. But you can check my music out on Spotify and on YouTube under Mad Martin. So there's that plug.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Shout out to Total Vision, ICJ.
Anthony touched on the frequency of these this language, the F's, MFs, GDs, all this. I didn't know my dad. I didn't meet my real dad until I was like 16. All right, and I shared this with somebody else. So we kind of trick him into it was his 20-year class reunion. So we trick him into calling. So he calls, and I answer the phone. I tell him who I am. Well, it took him a minute for it to register exactly who I was telling him I was. Well, when he realized who it was, the most profane-laden MFFFF, and I was like, almost like, Dad? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like, never even spoke to the man.
Yeah.
But we were not far apart.
Right. Yeah.
It's
crazy.
like almost like I was born with that language.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean,
My mother, her favorite word is, MF. She loves it.
Yeah.
And I was raised with my grandparents, you know what I mean? But naturally when I see my mom, it's crazy. Yeah. But absolutely.
So I was talking about the news stories, and I brought up this story, and since I brought it up, I might as well go ahead and read the story. It's addiction recovery news, or recovery addiction news, whichever way you put it. But a group of men from Sheepgate, a Christian-based addiction recovery program, became unexpected heroes this past Sunday morning, when they rescued a man from a submerged car in a drainage pond. The incident unfolded as the group was on its way to church on a bus and noticed the vehicle submerged and upside down. There was a quote, "Our bus driver stopped the bus and allowed us to get off, and a Sheepdale student, a group of us went down there, saw there was a car flipped over on its backside underwater. The men acted quickly, unsure of how long the car had been submerged or whether the driver was still alive. After receiving clearance from the sheriff's deputies, they managed to flip the car back upright, and initially there was no signal of life. There was still no pulse, and that's when those prayers started happening, and the man gasped for air after they prayed over him." So that's the story that I was talking about earlier, and we'll be having stories like that, as we go through this. But I thought that was a very interesting story, because that's like a miracle right there, that they were there, because the man was dead, and
Yeah.
so.
Buddy, you need a new phone.
Yeah, I do. It's all cracked up.
Yeah.
That's actually a new phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
what?
That's actually a new phone.
It is. Thank you, Sean, for pointing that out.
How new is said phone? Jesus.
Oh, that's about a month.
A month?
Bro.
Yeah,
Hey.
it fell flat
Bro.
On what?
on concrete.
Bro, the last phone was the first smartphone.
But it looks like his phone was
It was
ran over.
not
Oh,
a
it
flip
was.
phone.
Oh, it absolutely was.
Oh,
I remember
my
having
God.
that phone, and it was the first smartphone.
Oh my gosh.
Ever invented.
It did.
Oh my
It
God.
didn't have a C
Yes.
cord. It had the little. Yeah.
Yeah.
The old
The
school.
block. They had
So
the block.
before we close, I'd like to mention again a couple of places for some recovery. Okay, which was the 7:00 p.m. Recovery Church at 710 College Heights Methodist. That's across the street from E-Town Community Technical College in Elizabethtown. Also, Mondays at 8 p.m. is the Life Recovery Bible Study at Safe Harbor. That's 200 Joe Prather Highway. And I'll get clarification further on any other entities that may allow
Yes.
or might not forbid me to mention them.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Well, fellas, great first episode of the Potluck Podcast. It just gets better from here. I hope everybody enjoyed and got something from what they listened to today. I hope everybody's chill.